Thursday, May 11th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. Good morning. I'm going to try something new, brand new today. And so there'll be a little bit of changes in this, but I'm starting out with what I nicknamed the title page, and it may be the stock market indexes. It may be the first chart. This one, look at the break we've got in silver. It is all of a sudden breaking below today, breaking below lows ever since April 4th. So for a little over a month now. And this is a downside breakout from a double top formation, which we have pinpointed the two highs with red bearish ER engulfing automated trading system signals. Mouthful. I don't necessarily get both highs in a double top or lows very often. I don't. But the system did it this time. And I'm going to show you also the 1 minute charts, which shows you the ER trade entry and the trailing stop as minute by minute times passes, and we are still short with a profit of approximately $1.14 on a $24 item, silver. Great trade so far. And look how the STS yellow trailing stop locks in more and more of a profit more and more quickly. Love it. Let's go back to the spider, the stock market indexes. We have a 1 minute chart. We've been going sideways for a few days. We don't seem to be able to make much upside or downside progress. Here's the daily data chart. And we have an inside trading range day. Now remember, and this is the spider daily, right? And just double checking a couple of things. Yesterday we had an outside up day, bullish engulfing. So coming back into its range is not uncommon at all. In fact, one of my strategies is based on that high expectation. So entry-wise anyway, I like what I see so far. I'm now looking for this market to start to take off and get through the red resistance area that I put a little rectangle around. And that's been there since at least the beginning of February. And it's stopped the rallies so far in the last few weeks. So once we get above these highs, which is basically around yesterday's high, a little bit higher than that, we're going to start having new high closes and probably punching a new high ground. And all of a sudden, we will be in new highs going all the way back to August 26th. Now, that's the S&P 500. Let's go to the DIA. Today, on the daily data chart on the far right, we see that it's a little lower than yesterday's low, right now at yesterday's low. And yesterday was actually a bearish engulfing, an outside down day. Now, neither one, the S&P or the DIA, gave me an official signal, but generally speaking, bullish engulfings are bullish and bearish engulfings are bearish. But to see the opposites happen on the same calendar day, that is extremely rare. I don't remember the last time I saw that. And interestingly enough, we are down and stayed down all day on the DIA. And although we're down on the spider, we're not down too much. And it's an inside day. We haven't dropped below the low of yesterday's reversal, which was bullish again for the spider, but bearish supposedly for the DIA. Well, what the heck we got now in the QQQ? Come on. Well, it's going on its merry way. It made another new high since all the way back to August. Now, that's a substantial amount of time, but if you make it above the August highs of last year, which is at 334 3/4, give or take a little, then you're going to be making new highs for over a year. And that's the QQQs. So the bull trend is persisting extremely well on the Qs. Well, we've got a momentary little problem going on in the DIA and the S&P, which I think is going to be resolved extremely quickly. I'm looking for strength real soon, maybe by the end of the day, maybe Friday, the end of the week, tomorrow, but very soon. Let's go to futures. I already showed you the silver, and we're going to come back to it in a moment. That is pretty dramatic. Now, E-mini is not only an index, but it's a futures contract. So that's why I have it on this list. Inside day, no change of opinion, no change of commentary. This is just a sideways trading range, I think, just before it goes into new high ground. Next chart. We got the lean hogs. We got a buy signal a couple days ago. We bought almost exactly the low of the day yesterday. And today we have made a higher high, but right now it's down a very slight bit. Not increasing my optimism a lot. And a bad part is that it's a bearish engulfing at the moment. If it closes higher on the day, which would be pretty easy, it's not down much, then the things will change dramatically and I'll be very optimistic. But that really does depend on the net change for the day on the close. So I'm looking for a little strength here. If I don't get it, well, we got to be very careful in the next day or two. It needs to make new highs real quick. Signal was great. The entry was great. A little bit of a problem today so far. Next chart, silver. Well. We caught the high on the silver market on April 14th, the beginning of a break, and it was a nice one, not great. It came all the way back up to almost exactly the same prices. And lo and behold, had another ER bearish sell signal a few days ago, creating the beginning of a possible double top, and I said so on that date. It dribbled off a little bit for a couple of days, and then, my goodness gracious, great balls of fire, we had a bearish engulfing yesterday, the third one, and what do you get today? Yay! Reward. With the ER trading system, we have a technique of, and I didn't want to do that. Oh, I already showed you that, the 1 minute chart on the silver. That's okay. Of getting in, actually a couple of different techniques and different techniques of getting out, scalping techniques and longer term trading or swing trading, investing techniques. So far, this is great. On a scale of 1 to 10 for examples, this has got to be a 9 point something. All right. So optimistic as heck. Looking for a move down at least to 23.5. And as I think I said yesterday, maybe down to 21 or something. That could be great. Warning. We're now at oversold conditions. So this is a huge day down. We might go dribbling sideways for a little bit and then start to make new lows, excuse me, very soon. So I wouldn't be going short at the moment. I'd wait for a little bit of a bounce up to 25, maybe a hair higher, and go short in that ballpark soon. I hope. Otherwise, you missed the boat. Next chart. Bonds coming up a little bit more like yesterday. Remember, I'm very bullish long term. I'm waiting for a breakout. This market's building a sideways trading range. It's kind of like a diving board. You know, the longer the diving board, the bigger the bounce up or down one way or the other you get at the end of the board. So the larger the trading range, the bigger the swing that happens outside of the trading range once you break out of the trading range, which will happen one way or the other, definitely sooner or later. I'm voting for up. I like the way this looks. I like the way it's been acting for weeks and months now. I just don't have a major upside breakout. It doesn't want to do it yet. Same thing goes for 10-year notes here. This is the TY 10-year note chart. It's almost identical commentary. Next chart is crude oil. You know I'm bearish on the energies. We came down, bounced off of support a few days ago, got oversold, and it popped back up into some resistance. I've been mentioning the last day or two, and I'll say it again. Now that it's starting to make new lows for the previous 3 days, I think it's going to start to head back to 65 and break into new low ground. Bearish, trend is down. Like what I see, not oversold at the moment. Great. Next, heating oil. Almost the same commentary, but hey, we also got a bearish engulfing today. Outside down day. Normally that puts it into lower prices right away. It might take a day or two on a little retracement, but otherwise it should be, you know, next week below where we are now on a tick-to-tick basis for sure. And I would be using a risk factor somewhat slightly above today's high. Next is natural gas trending down, looking for lower levels. Don't have a great signal lately. The last one was a real good one. and ER3 got in extremely nicely, and we did have a couple of weeks worth of up move. Now, lately, all it did was get oversold. We didn't get an official signal, and no surprise, rallied up into resistance and looks like it's about to head into new low ground. Next chart is gold. Remember, guys and gals, we bought the bottom of the gold and the silver and the platinum market, all three of them. The low for the gold market was on February 28th. Now I think the market's having troubles. This might be influenced by the big down day in silver. I'm not surprised. It's now coming down from an overbought condition. No breakouts. I've got to wait a little bit more. I'm hoping to get a signal. And in this case, I think it's going to be a bearish one. Next chart is platinum. We got the bottom of the platinum market February 27th to the exact day. We had a sell signal lately, but it worked a little bit, not the greatest, for about a day or two. Now we've got the possibility of a double top. Again, the precious metal might be affected somewhat by the major breakout in silver on the downside. Next chart is high-grade copper, new lows, but getting oversold. So don't chase markets down, selling short when you're in oversold conditions. You're asking to sell the bottom. Typical neophyte, beginner, trader thinking. Not good. You are your worst enemy. This activity of futures trading and or stocks, options, doesn't matter, trading in general, is a very counterintuitive activity. What looks good is bad, and what's bad really looks good. So you have to learn to think backwards. Next, soybeans. New lows for quite a while. I think this market's rolling over, but you are approaching support and you are approaching oversold conditions. So there's a chance, and we've seen a couple already, charts where this could hold at 1375. We'll see if it does or not. Now I'm getting a natural gas. Okay, that's no big deal. So I'm looking for lower levels on soybeans. Next is soybean oil. I'm getting more weakness. No surprise, the trend is down. I was hoping that buy signal would do better than it did, but it did okay. But that's pretty much a moot point now. And because the trend is down, we're probably going to make new lows for the trend. We're not oversold, and we're very close to making new lows. So I'm looking for something in the 40s real quick. Next is soybean meal. Got oversold, bouncing a little bit, maybe back up to about 437. Could be a little bit higher. I'm saying 450. But the trend is now at least sideways to probably lower, and depending upon your time frames. And I'm looking for new lows. Next chart is corn, and we got 2 buy signals in the last 5 days or so. Now we're long from yesterday's buy signal and losing a little, but we're not out. The stop is 357 3/4, 378. I'm sorry, 378 3/4, and we're long from a little under 590. Did I say 590, 578, yeah, and 590. So not a very big risk, but we're not doing well at the moment. Let's find out what happens later, and of course the next day or two. Next chart, wheat. We caught the bottom of the move. It moved straight up for 2 or 3 days. Plenty of time to make some money, and a decent, not great, move to the upside. Now it's retracing back into the range of the reversal. So I'm waiting to see what happens next. But we made some money. We're flat. We're out. We're waiting. Trend is down. That augurs for, of course, a new low for the trend. We'll see. No comment. Live cattle. We caught almost the top of the market. We caught almost the bottom of the market in there. So I am looking for cattle to go a little bit sideways to lower. The major trend is up. So, and that has not been really damaged at all. This is just a correction, and it's a matter of whether we hit the low of the correction right at support about a week ago. Have we or have we not? It's coming down a lot yesterday and about unchanged today. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait. OJ, oversold, stabilizing, trying to get rid of the oversold condition, probably going to bounce some. And because the trend is up, this could very well get into resistance and push into new high ground. Let's see how far it will go. I don't have any official signal at the moment, but I like the upside at this point. oversold at support, testing a previous formation's top, and again, trend up. I like it. I'm looking to go long. Pick your own spot. Next, cocoa. Overbought, new high for the trend. What can I say? Bull market's not stopping yet. No signals per se. Looking for a downside correction in a bull market. Next, sugar, the sweet, possible double top. I mentioned that yesterday. George Lane, an old friend of mine, really nice guy. The developer Stochastics, Mr. Stochastic, once taught me, well, he did teach me stochastics, but he once told me that watch for closing prices that are getting closer and closer to their highs as a few days evolve, because that is a sell signal. That is getting close to a top. And this is approximately what we had up to and including yesterday. Now today, we're down at yesterday's low already, and we'll be at a new low close in 4 days if we stay here. So I think a downside correction has started, and that could lead to a double top. Next, we're back to S&P 500. You have a great day today. We're only down 1.5 points at the moment in the spider, slowly drifting off a little bit. And the Qs at the moment are still 58 higher for the day. Again, I basically like what I see. Oh, I do want to show you some trades here real quick. Look at this trade today because of yesterday's signal in ADNT. I'm going to go, okay, there's your green buy signal yesterday. We opened below the bid, so we get long real quick. And I'm going to show you the 1 minute chart right here. We got in and we're currently losing 6 cents. Not a big deal. Next chart is FLS. And I'm going to go right to the 1 minute chart. We sold it short ER1 yesterday, and it's still short and making 54 cents so far in a $35 stock. And the next chart is going to be FND. Right now, losing, excuse me, because we sold short at a bad spot yesterday, $2.21. But we did have our special gap code kick in this morning. It would have stopped us out on the opening if we don't make adjustments for those gaps that are against us. So that's a good thing. And we're currently trading at this tick to tick below. I see we're dropping fairly quickly in the S&P, down 220 at the moment. All right, let's check that real fast. Got a little spike down. 1 minute RSI is at 14, so it's getting oversold real quick. And it may very well stop and bounce back up again. Well, okay, I'm going to leave you with this. Great. More to follow tomorrow, more examples. So I started something new. Take care.